What's good, y'all? Welcome back to Take Time Out. This is episode 54 NFL. It's about that time to talk some more football, man. Yeah, so we had the draft go down. It's good stuff. It's hyped up. Yeah, real quick. I mean, it was hyped up. Do you think it lived up to the hype or what?
Uh, I'm gonna say no. I expected more trades within the top 10, but there
Yeah,
were some crazy things we'll dive into. But
yeah.
um, the way people were talking it up, I thought some more stuff would have happened. But uh, I think we'll revisit this draft in years to come, and it's a very talented class. So
Mm-hmm. Yep. All right, so today we got some winners, some losers. So let's talk about them. Three biggest winners from the draft, your own personal list. I'll just give all three of mine. Vikings, homer pick, but I think we had a great draft. The Bears staying in the division. I think obviously with the cards they were dealt, they had a pretty good draft. And then the Jags. I think the Jags had a sneaky, pretty good draft with taking Brian Thomas, a big need, in my opinion, a different kind of receiver that they needed out of that just mid receiving core. So I'm liking what I'm seeing from those three.
uh, yeah, I kind of got the same first two as you, the Vikings and the Bears. Uh, Last one I'm going to go with, and I'm going to continue to ride this team, is the Pittsburgh Steelers. Uh, they got help on the offensive line. They got a lot of depth on their offensive line. I think they got some great defensive pieces that fit their scheme.
Mm.
They got a linebacker that's going to fit great into their nickel package. Um, so yeah, you kind of have to tip your hat to the Steelers because I feel like every draft, there's like four or five teams that always just have a solid draft, but for the Steelers in the position that they were in, uh, possibility of trading for Ayuk and everything, this draft showed me that they don't need, to trade for someone like that.
Hmm.
Um, because I think building your offensive line for what they're looking to achieve is more important than that type of receiver.
Nah, yeah, I absolutely agree. I mean, Steelers had an all-time like we're winners type of draft. Like that's what you do when you're winners, man. You take the boring positions, you take the ones that nobody's
Hmm.
talking about, and that's exactly what happened.
Yeah.
All right, so we had three losers. Mine would be in order: the Falcons, the Raiders, and the Broncos. Do you have the same?
Yes. And I would swap the Broncos with the Raiders.
Hmm.
But yeah, you can't go wrong with either of those three.
Yeah, yeah. I mean, we had. Yeah, I mean, Michael Penix goes eight just to spark up some drama in their organization. Raiders, they go ahead and take a tight end when they have Michael Mayer. And then the Broncos are like, well, it's just great. The press conference was amazing. Just Sean Payton lined straight through his teeth. Yeah, I just tricked everybody. I never really wanted to trade up. I acted, and everybody thought we wanted to make a move up, but really I just wanted Bo Nix. Like you're such a liar. Like stop
Hmm.
lying all the time. This is why you didn't get along with Russell Wilson because you're a liar and he's a Christian, but that's another topic for another day. Like it's just funny how they work, man, and we'll see where it leads them. But yeah, it's Bo Nix season now.
Yeah, and to kind of go back on the Falcons, not only did they pick Michael Penix, which was a shock, I don't think that pick is that bad. There were
Right.
some defensive players on the board that I think would better suit them, but I don't think you can go wrong with how much me and you love Michael Penix.
Yeah.
Kirk Cousins deals with injuries. Who knows what happens? It's always great to have a good backup.
Yeah.
But the next pick, when they traded up for Ruke Orkahoro, I
We'll
don't
get
even know how to
into it.
say his name.
Yeah.
When you also had Newton from Illinois, he was on the board,
Yes.
which was a clearly better prospect.
Hmm.
I don't understand where what we're doing there, and what their need was an edge rusher, and they got a defensive tackle, which is similar, but you need an edge rusher, especially
Yeah.
being in the NFC. So,
hmm Yeah, it's interesting, man. The draft approach was very interesting. It reminds me of a situation from a couple years back. I forget, might even been the Browns where they had this. I think it was when it was the Browns. Who's the coach that went 0 and 16? What was his name? He's so forgettable. Hugh Jackson. Hugh
Hugh
Jackson.
Jackson.
Yeah, when Hugh Jackson was there and he was trying to call some shots, and there was just this ongoing thing where nobody could really communicate who the hell they wanted to pick. And then it just ended up being an absolute like that's what it reminded me of with the Michael Penix pick. Wasn't a bad pick because of what happened, but the fact that you didn't talk to your quarterback, who you just signed to a multi-year deal, that's just drama that
Hmm.
you don't want to impose on yourself. Like they're just setting themselves up in a bad situation. Like chemistry wise, that's a horrible start. Kirk Cousins was pissed, and he's a nice guy. Like for him to
Yeah,
tell his camp, like, yeah, release a story saying I'm pissed off, that takes a lot because you don't want that. You just don't want, if anything, you want Kirk Cousins to, be along with it and be like, hey, I'm ready. I'll train up this kid and we'll get him ready to go. But it might not go like that now. So we'll see what happens.
yeah. I mean, it kind of reminds me of the same situation that happened in Green Bay year after year, and
hmm
ultimately, look what happened with that.
hmm
That's like it's like the same situation if the Jets last year drafted a quarterback in the top 10.
hmm
Aaron Rodgers would have been pissed.
Yep.
And Kirk Cousins is a nice guy, so like you said, that says a lot that, he came out and said that, which it just doesn't make any sense to me. Like you
No.
give this guy all this money and then you kind of go behind his back. I
Yeah.
don't know.
Shady stuff. And like I was talking about with Kyler and Nate the other day, like they probably came to a point where they went to his pro day, had a really good pro day, went to the combine. He had a great combine. And they fell so in love with Michael Penix as a person and as a player that they threw all of the morals out the window. And they're like, screw the fact that we just signed the dude. Screw the fact that we're taking the guy that we want, which is okay if it works out. But at least have that
Hmm.
conversation with Kirk, like, hey, just so you know, we love Penix. We want to do this. Like, give him the plan as well. He's your franchise now.
Exactly.
You signed him like your franchise. Treat him like one.
No, I totally agree. I could definitely see it being a situation like that. This is a guy that you're watching before you guys even get Kirk.
Yeah.
And and they had possibilities of it and they saw him on the board and like, all right, let's just get our guy anyways. Let's see what happens.
Yeah.
So
Hope it works out for him. Um, Not really, but all right, let's hop into some. I came up with some awards. So we're gonna do some draft awards. These are all frisky, crazy awards, so we'll hop into them now. So the Boot Gang Award, Boot Gang from a couple years ago. He's a Christian now. I don't know if you knew that. He's crazy, but steal of the draft. He used to steal everything. So who's the steal of the draft? I already talked about a little bit with the Jags winning. I think Brian Thomas will go down as one of the biggest steals of the draft. Maybe not the biggest because there's always some crazy ones, but Brian Thomas had like pick 15 or whatever he was. Just a great pick for the Jags. I think he goes in there, and if all the talks are right about him and neighbors kind of covering up how good he was and all this different stuff, like he might be one of the best receivers in this class. So I'm excited to see how it goes.
yeah. Um that's a good pick. For me, I'm gonna go with someone that I think uh fell because of all the offensive players going off the board, and I'm gonna go Dallas Turner.
I like
Uh
it.
yeah, I'm surprised that you didn't have him. But just, he was the first defensive player taken off the board or second.
Second, Latu won before him. Another edge won
Yeah,
before him.
lot. Yeah, with the Colts, but just kind of surprising, and I don't blame the Vikings straight enough to get a guy to replace Daniil Hunter. So
hmm
I really like what they did there.
Yeah, I'm excited for it, man. I mean, yeah, we went out and signed the guy, and I'm like a little panicking a little bit, like, but then we trade up and take a doubt, Daniil Hunter like esque type of pick. Like, he's a freak. Like Daniil
Hmm.
Hunter when he walks on the field, you're like, that dude is a freak. Like the way he's built makes him a freak. So excited to see that. We got the Brandon Whedon Award. Man, that's an all-timer for me. Brandon Whedon, 28-year-old going like this match is up for me. Biggest reach of the draft. I'm going Bo Nix. Ooh, man, you reached high. You probably could have got that man late, 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 but we'll see.
Yeah, I'm with you on that one. I think that's someone that you could have got in the second round.
Yep,
Who else needs a quarterback that's going to draft him that high?
nobody.
Nobody. And you could have traded up if you thought the Raiders were going to snag him in the second round.
Yep.
It just it's just crazy to me. You got three mid QBs on that team.
Yeah,
That's
we
what
could
it
be
is.
talking about this award 4 years down the line. We could be like the Brandon Whedon / Bo Nix award because that's how crazy
Hmm.
it is.
He just sounds like a backup quarterback.
Yes, yes. Or a Disney star. One of the two. All right. What's our next award? The He Might Become President award for best personality. I'm going with Malik Neighbors. Malik Neighbors, I really liked his interview, bro, where he's like, shows the suit and he's like, now let me tell you about all the reasons, the people that made Malik Malik. And he's talking about all this. Like, I just like his personality. He might come off as a diva, but he's just from the South. Like, he's from Louisiana. So he's very, like, very cocky and very just Southern. So it's funny, but I'm going with Malik Neighbors. He has a very good personality.
I like in his interview where he said Daniel Jones, or he said he said Daniel Jones. That's what he said. That's what he called him, Daniel Jones. But from my best personality, we didn't really get to see him at the draft, but he's the guy that you could just tell this guy's going to be a future Hall of Famer. I know we saw the memes, but Joe Alt, just sitting in a log cabin with his family, just
Yes.
you just know this man is going to play 15 years
Hmm.
and become a Pro Bowler, a 12-time Pro Bowler and
Yeah.
make the Hall of Fame.
He's
He just
quite
sounds
literally, yeah.
like it and he looks like it.
He's the
We're
next Joe
we're in the
Thomas, bro.
corduroy. Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. Everybody's just like along with that pick, like absolute A plus right there. Like nobody's arguing with that pick.
Hmm.
And he has a good personality too. Another one for me that I was thinking about was that Xavier Legette dude. Bro,
Yeah.
he's gold, bro. He is good.
Hmm.
Like that's a good personality right there. That's just a great voice by him. All right, so we got the Mike Check Award, best person to announce a pick. Easy. My guy Sketch, man. Sketch killed it. Not
Hmm.
only did he take the dude from Ohio, dude was so pumped to be out there, yelling at the crowd. He was like so locked in. So I love that one.
It was funny because he announces the pick and it's kids still were at Ohio State.
Hmm. Bro, that was
And
amazing.
it's in Michigan. So the whole crowd's booing and he's just like this. And you could tell, like, within him, he thought the crowd was booing at him. And
Yeah,
I kind of felt bad for him. Like, oh no, bro, it's not for you. It's because of Ohio State. And it's just funny because it's just like, you look at him and he's just so pure and happy.
yeah.
And he's just like, why are
Hold
they
up.
booing me?
Yeah.
For me, I'm gonna go a different direction, even though I agree with you. I'm gonna go um, Jamal Charles, and
Okay.
I
Yeah.
know he messed up his pick, but because he has a speech impediment. And I think it takes a lot for someone to go up there that has that disability to go up there and announce a pick like that. And all the
For
hate
real.
that he's getting, it kind of makes me a little mad because it's like he could have just declined, you know.
Hmm.
But to have that courage to go in front of all those people, even knowing you're probably going to get made fun of.
Yep.
So for me, I know it's kind of a little deep, kind of get me teary eyed or whatever. But for me, it's going to be Jamal Charles.
That's a good one as well. And just an amazing player for the Chiefs as well. He was a great player, man. If he stayed healthy, like who knows? All right. The Who Award? Who? The guy who that got taken away too early. You talked about it already. That was my pick, bro. Uh I'm gonna try Rule or Horo. I don't know, bro. Bro went way too early. The eighth ranked D tackle. Bro went as the second ranked D tackle on ESPN. Like that is insane, bro. Pick 35. That's crazy. Like what are we doing? Like that reminds me of when the the Packers, I mean not the Packers, the Patriots, they took that one worked out for them, but they took some crazy name dude really early in the first round as well. So
Oh, that was that center, I think.
yeah.
Strange, Cole
Yeah,
Strange
Cole
or something.
Strange. Yeah, he turned out to be all
Hmm
right, but it reminds me of that.
For me, I'm gonna just, keep it simple with the team. This is the fourth round. The Giants, I'm seeing the people flying off the board. I'm thinking we're going to grab a tight end. I think it's going to either be Stover or some one of these people. But we end up getting a guy named Theo Johnson, and I was like, who? Apparently, guy out of Penn State. I guess he didn't see much playing time. Surpriser, of course, we pick him. But on the upside, I think he ran the fastest time out of all the tight ends, has a good frame and everything. So it's like a school project. Like why are we drafting guys in the fourth round? They were school projects.
Yeah.
At a position that we really need because Darren Waller's looking like he's about to retire. So hopefully it
Yep.
works out. Hopefully he's another Evan Ingram.
hmm
But I was just like, who?
who we taking right now, bro? Yeah. I almost said who in the Vikings because I don't watch much college when they took a guy named Kyrie because I'm like, I can't have another Kyrie Irving in my life, bro. Like, what's this guy about? Another Kyrie? But yeah. All right, the MVG award, most valuable GM based on the draft. I'm going with Quezzy, man, the Vikings GM. I think he stuck to his guns, no matter if he liked the guns or not. I mean, he won a JJ the whole time and he fell to him. Had to trade up one spot, he does it. Um, then he's like, we've like Dallas Turner this whole time. Oh shoot, he's falling, he's falling, he's falling. Oh, Latu went. Oh, we're taking Dallas Turner right now. Let's trade up. Like I like it, man. I mean, we got graded a couple times by bad dudes, like saying we reached. It ain't a reach when you're the Texans. Did the Texans
hmm
reach? It looked like they reached last year, didn't it? No, they didn't
Yeah.
reach. If both players turn out good, then it's an amazing pick. It's amazing picks. So I'm going with Quezzy.
For me, I'm going to keep it simple. A guy that wins every year, and I'm just going to go Howie Roseman.
Yeah.
Uh, like the first two picks, getting corners because that is what they needed. So I like doubling back on that pick. And then after that, I felt like I seen every time a team would come up to pick, it'd be like, the Eagles have traded back. The Eagles have traded back. The Eagles have traded back.
hmm
I think traded back like three or four times, bro. And I mean, like, it's crazy how I don't know. I just like trading back, especially when you have such a stacked roster and
hmm
you already addressed what you really needed to, which was that secondary. So for me, keep it simple. Like every year, Howard Roseman.
Yep. Solid pick because he wins it almost every year, man. It's craziness.
Hmm
Yeah, it was a
Yep.
fun draft, man. And yeah, I mean, our mock maybe didn't turn out the way it was supposed to, but what mocks do, man? I'm looking at all these mocks. Everybody thinks they know what they're talking about. And it's just, it all blows up when it comes draft time, man. It never goes how people say it's going to
hmm
go. But yeah, it was fun.
Exactly.
All right, man. We'll have clips coming out of this episode and check us out on socials, TikTok, all that, man. Buzz Radio.
hmm
Peace.